What is the scariest thing you've come across on the internet? That one video where the car was driving down that mountain road and you had to pay close attention and then it turned out to be a screamer. That tea was actually aired as a coffee or energy drink, I'm not exactly sure, commercial in Germany. I can just imagine all the heart attacks it caused. If you want to calm down from those, watch the parody ones where you can see the creature's ears before it pops up. Or it's a guy in a giant stuffed animal suit. They're hilarious. Pro-Ana forums where mostly teen girls encourage each other to starve to death. Took me a minute of wondering who is Ana and why does she want this to happen to these poor girls. When I was in high school I was on my Pro-Ana. I was extremely sick, mentally, with my ED and I felt like I had no self-control. So I needed strangers to help me starve. Looking back years later, it's super FK'd up. One of my friends used to be on there and one of the girls who she talked to a lot ended up killing herself because she thought her BMI was too high. Really? Her BMI was like 13. For sheer stomach churning gore. A hand degloved by an industrial paper shredder. It was sort of satisfying in its uniformity and neatness. Mechanical precision and all that. For sheer existential terror. A short video of a boy dying of rabies. He's delirious and sick and it's just sad. But then for a second or two he locks eyes with the camera and snarls in a perfectly, quintessentially animalistic way. And you realize how easy it is to lose yourself and become other, to become reduced to just base instincts and bodily functions with no you left. Yeah. Rabies is a splashy version of that. But I think a lot of old age illnesses, how we are all increasingly more likely to die, isn't so different. And the ultimately terrifying thing is that it's also much worse to watch that and know we are potentially next than to live through it. Easily. Without question the videos ISIS kept shoving online when they were expanding across the Middle East. What made them scary and downright disturbing was that it was happening now. Some of these people were living normal lives in Europe or Turkey or the US just months earlier and now here they are. Literally butchering people with a smile on their face for all the world to see. It happened then. It can happen again. In a way I'm glad we live on a world where this is horrific. It wasn't that long ago we didn't feel that way. People being brutally tortured was pretty FK'd up. Are you talking about red rooms? Edit. I know that red rooms do not exist. I know that they are only myths. Don't got to get uptight. I was in my early teens when I learned what a crushing fetish is. Women crush eggs and light bulbs and stuff under their feet or ass, and it confused me. How can this turn people on? So I searched for more of it to try to unravel the mystery and found that certain sick fucks out there don't stop at eggs and light bulbs. There was a video of a kitten being crushed under this lady's high heel. I didn't go on the internet for a few days after that. Mexican cartel members shooting 2 restrained guys at point blank then cutting their heads off with a machete. I was younger when I read this. But the Ben drowned creepypasta freaked me out. Also the Squidward's suicide creepypasta that was referenced in a recent SpongeBob episode. OMG Ben drowned. Used to do quizzes on quotes on who from creepypasta I'd date. Always got Ben. Video of 2 teenage boys driving to a girl's home whom they plan to murder. It also has video of them after they did it. They are way too excited about murder. I've seen videos of people straight up dying that is not as scary as that video. If you're talking about the Cassie Joe Stoddard case. That is the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. The way he said we just killed Cassie sends chills up my spine. Saw a beheading of this woman on Facebook when I was like 14. The guy used a machete and it took several slices. FK'd me up hard. Yay me too, and I saw the eyes still moving after the head was chopped off. It was crazy. That F-King video of a brick flying through a windshield and killing the mother in the passenger's seat. There's no gore. But the reactions of the husband and daughter will stick with me forever. Of all the messed up and terrifying shit on this post, this one I just can't bear. I've not seen the video but I can just imagine and that's enough. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I can't. Those Spotify ads that jump out are nowhere and seem louder than the song itself. That shit makes me jump every time. Not to mention how effing loud the jerkmad ads come on at. Camera app. Edit. Wasn't expecting so many upvotes and an award on Mayo. Is this that the camera operates while you aren't using it? Like it's scanning where you are? The story of Junko Furita. No link for this one. If you want to find it you can on Wikipedia, but I refuse to get back on the page to grab the link. Edit. I know everything on this post is awful, but I pretty firmly believe this should be right up there. Edit 2. A lot of people are saying they are feeling sick after hearing about this. If you have a weak stomach or cannot handle difficult things, I would again not recommend going looking for this story. It just falls in the category of pure evil for me, so I think it matches the post question well. Don't put yourselves through something if you aren't sure if you can handle it. Envious of the people who didn't have friends that showed them Gorsh tea from 4chan under the premise of this is hilarious. Friends. Boy, that's fucked. The guy who jumped off the train onto the platform. Then got chopped in half as he crashed into a sign. There's a video on YouTube of a skier who was doing some downhill high speed race and one of his skis got caught in the orange safety netting on the side of the course. The ski stopped his leg but the rest of his body kept moving. He basically split his pelvis in half and he slid down the track, leaving behind a trail of blood while his intestines are falling out of his body. When he finally stops, he looks down and sees his insides falling out of him and he just passes out. Live leak. Dude got cut up by a chainsaw while he was still alive. The whole Jeff the Killer thing was pretty scary to me when I was younger. I thought the story was cringy and overly edgy even as a kid, but his face scared the shit out of me whenever it popped up. Not necessarily scary, but creepy. Was some website with in-depth tutorials on suicide. I think the best option, meaning quickest and least painful, was an exit bag. Then it showed how to make it and follow through. I got dared to look up the Russian sleep experiment. Still have images in my head. Never heard of this. Time to look it up. Edit. Read the Wikipedia page. And damn. It is actually kind of believable. Aside from the superhuman abilities part. That was just unreasonable. Someone getting their head blown off by a shotgun. I saw that happen right in front of me. A guy had a shotgun and was saying he was going to shoot himself. I tried to save him but he did it 3 feet from me. I have never been the same. The amount of pure ignorance and hate in the world. And complete lack of empathy. Also all the gore and FK'd up shit. But the first part is worst. Blue waffles. Don't be fooled by the innocent sounding name. It's just as nasty as everything else in this thread. Do yourself a favor and don't look it up. We had a forensic psychology class. And we had presentations. One of the presenters showed a video from YouTube of an active shooter coming in and the people were under a table. And no matter how much they begged for their lives he still shot them. Might not seem like much in this day and age to watch that. But knowing it was real. It made me feel like I was there. Trapped. And knowing that nothing I'd do or say would save me. And it got so bad I actually ran out of the classroom. 2 guys being cut up by a cartel while still alive. That was too much for me. A human fell onto active power lines. Was electrocuted to death. And was decapitated. I saw that. One of my first 50/50 experiences. I was 12 on Omegle VidChat by myself because I was bored. I got matched with a guy with his DCK out and a girl no older than 3 playing with it. Called him a monster and left Omegle after that. Nope. Not up. I was pissed I got banned from Omegle. This makes me no longer pissed. 2 guys 1 hammer. These 2 guys find a homeless man sleeping in the woods and proceed to, presumably, murder him by shoving nails in him and bashing him with a hammer. It was actual footage and scarred me for a bit. A friend showed me. It was a video on Best Gore which showed a man and his son being executed by Mexican drug cartels. The man was beheaded and his son was flayed alive. However, I'm completely desensitized to all this stuff now. Old creepypastas and fake ghost cams used to terrify me when I was younger. Now not so much. Back in the early 2000s there was a video circulating called the Pain Olympics. All sorts of twisted shit this guy is doing to his DCK and balls. Smashing it with a hammer. Cutting it. Needles and stuff. I find it interesting how many of these answers are creepypasta or otherwise fictional versus how many are real life gore and atrocities. My answer is the brick through the windshield. I've seen a lot of gore online, but that made the strongest impression by far. If don't know what I'm talking about, please just leave it at that and don't bother looking it up. Someone linked me to an ISIS assassination video where a group of people had death cord put around their neck. It happened too quickly for me to react and I was unable to shut it off by the time I'd already seen it. That kept me up for a while. I don't think I'll ever be entirely at peace with it. Don't know if it still exists and never want to find out. But there used to be a website specifically to have the most disturbing photos and stories or gore that I used to look at once a week. The worst photo I saw was an old standalone bathtub containing the remains of a man in his 80s that turned into human soup because he had a water heater connected to the bath water. He died and over several weeks his body cooked and slid off his bones, creating a brownish liquid soup-like material. There's a video of teenage girls stepping on a kitten to death that my friend showed me. I hope those girls get buried alive by Mexican cartels. Guy with his face and hands cut off being casually stabbed by someone off camera. The blasé cruelty scared me more than anything. Humans can be pretty shitty. The people torturing and killing the guy, for whatever reason, probably went home and had dinner with their family like nothing had happened. Okay. So I won't mention the channel. But they do compilations of disturbing things they find on the internet every once in a while. It was really entertaining despite how creepy most of the stuff is. Then episode 10 came out. In the video, there was a clip of a concert fire. It was a station venue fire to be exact. I remember watching the clip and seeing people stuffing themselves through a window just to escape the smoke. I know there are much more horrifying things out there, but that clip got me in the gut. The Chernobyl explosion is up there. The details are horrifying and the elephant's foot is a whole new world of creepy. I was a messed up f-king kid. Just recently I watched a guy's head get cut off by a masked terrorist. There used to be this gory subreddit. And this guy literally cut off his penis. WHO the FCK cuts off their penis. WHO and the goddamn earth cuts their penis off. That's the story for today now. Stay safe kiddos. 2 guys killing a girl and having sex with her dead body and Twitter after that I delete Twitter. I'm sorry if my English is not perfect, I know only the basic. I've seen a lot of scary stuff on the internet, but my number one would be a cartel video. Someone got their hands cut off, face skinned, and throat cut all to the tune of Funky Town. I think it was the sound that the guy was making that really added to the whole thing. Funky Town guy, wherever you are. Cheers bro. TBH, it's gotta be that foreigner challenge on TikTok a few months back. My eyes were not ready for that disgusting crap. Around 2010 to 2012 I was on Omegle really late at night. I think the person I matched with put a video of a video onto the chat screen. BC it was fuzzy. But all it showed was my face with their screen as someone hanging themselves and just swinging. It terrified me. I've also seen a lot worse things on there too. But I'd consider that more disturbing than scary. Friend went down a gory rabbit hole and found a video that he then sent to our group chat. It was a video of this guy that fell off a ladder that was propped up against a tree. A branch caught his face and tore the whole left side of his face below his eye off. The mangled part was still attached by his ear. And then it was a close-up video and you could just see the fear in his eyes. A video of someone cleaning their pub and then suddenly a jump scare appears. Bloody hell, I jumped off the sofa and threw my phone like 10 miles away. My mom was scared by me as well. Weird moment. That one video of a Mexican woman in a car crash with her face completely lifted off her skull. She's touching it, realizing it's her own face but traumatized. Crime scene photos and autopsy photos of Jack the Ripper victims and the Black Dahlia. It's just unreal what some people are driven to do to other people. Read a lot about climate change and the destruction of the earth. That shit scares me more than anything else ever could. The Russian sleep experiment. I know it's not real, but reading the story along with the pictures gave me nightmares. I'm also bipolar and schizophrenic, and I first read it before I was diagnosed, so not only did I have nightmares, I would occasionally see those images everywhere I went. Blood on the ceiling, walls, floor, bed, and etc. A person was hanged in the middle of the room by their own intestines. Stomach ripped open. Organs smashed and scattered on the floor. And more, but I would rather not describe it since you might be freaked out a lot already. The guy driving with his mother and then the brick comes through the windscreen. I f***ing noped out so quickly. That sound will haunt my dreams. So much f***ing agony. And not a single thing they could do. Once tried to download gay porn off Kazaa in my teens and got a snuff video instead. Was close up of a guy on the ground getting his throat slit by a Bowie knife. I didn't touch internet for weeks after. I still thank God every day that you can't now preview porn instead of gambling on random file downloads. My friends all sent each other a video of a dude drilling a hole through his schlong. Thank you Norton family for saving me from seeing that one. Some sort of Middle Eastern extremist group recruitment video. A slow motion of a man's head getting blown off with a shotgun. And two other guys getting their heads sawn off with what appeared to be combat knives. Very gruesome and disturbing. It's somewhere between that and a video called, I think, Two Guys One Hammer. They beat some dude to death with a sledgehammer and stabbed him and shit. You can hear him gurgling on blood. I got sick from watching it. It's burned into my brain and I'm getting sick retelling what I saw. I really can't say which is worse. This is on Facebook. A man captured by terrorists. They pointed a gun at Jim while he was digging his own grave. Later on, they let him lay down on it and beheaded him while laying on his own coffin. The story Eric the Pie by Graham Masterson, which despite its cute name is incredibly gory and f***ed up. Also this one girl's Tumblr page which documented the worst case of self-harm I've ever seen. Not only was it hard to look at, it also made me really sad. I really hope she's doing better nowadays.